Okay, welcome. Hey, thanks for joining us, everyone. Coming at you, Karmic Transmission number 53 tonight. Should be kind of an interesting one. We'll see how it goes. It's been a weird, crazy week. Lots of stuff going on. But to get everything out of the way, as always, I'm your host, Jake Vanderlinden. We'll see who shows up. We'll probably have Clint or Ayame with me, one of the two. Who knows? But as always, guys, best place to find out what we're about, what we're doing with Karma Incarnate, how we're looking to take these age-old, villains and monsters of hunger and poverty that we've been facing our entire existence as human beings and knock them down and take them out of the system and out of the equation a little bit. That the best way to find out what we're doing and what we're about is right there on our website, karmaincarnate.com. As always, you can find us on all of the social medias, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, all those fun places where you can find everybody. You can find us too, because we're out there trying to spread a message just like everyone else. And hopefully it's one that'll resonate with everybody, because we're team human. Every step of the way, we are team human, and we want to see humanity raised to the finest point that it could ever be, because there's so much potential that it's scary. And that's what we're here to do. But to kind of get things off and running, and like I said, you can find us all on there. It's the day after Mother's Day. So for all of you mothers out there, I think I got my mom watching from home. Happy Mother's Day. Have a belated Mother's Day. We hope you all had a fantastic and wonderful holiday and got to spend some good time with your loved ones and family and friends, because that's what the holiday is all about. I know that I got to spend some with my family, and here's some more of my family, even better. So, hey, brother man, how we doing?
Hey, Jake, what's up?
Oh, not a whole lot. Just getting the old runaround thing out of the way in the beginning. You gotta greet everyone, say hi, welcome. I was just saying happy belated Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I hope, Nisha, got to have a fun Mother's Day, and your mom Jody as well.
Yeah, well, Nisha's sick, so she's been spending Mother's Day sick, and
that's a bummer,
she
man.
still got it. And yeah, I didn't go see my mom just in case I was carrying what she's got.
Yeah.
We tested for COVID, negative. So I don't know. She's got some sort of chest congestion or something.
No, that's a bummer, man.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll probably go to the doctor tomorrow.
Yeah. Hopefully it's just something like some bad allergies or something going around, because that caught me real bad for a while there. So, but that's really a shame. I do. I hope she gets feeling better. Nisha, that's a bummer. Yeah. Like when mom gets sick, just feel bad for him,
Yeah, it's no good. But yeah, Mother's Day is great. It's a good holiday to thank our moms and let them know how much they mean to us and how much we love them. And
it is, and there's a lot of moms involved in karma and stuff. Like Ayame's mom Celia moved out to Hawaii, so they had to do kind of a long distance Mother's Day. This one was a little bit different. Energy was a little bit different around it.
What did you guys do?
We finished, so that tree, I had that tree come down last week, and so I finished up the last logs. And by logs, I mean, I was cutting things this big around with a 16-inch chainsaw. But I finished that up, and then we loaded the truck. But for Mother's Day, I ended up doing, we got her some flowers and a few things, and I cooked lobster tails and steaks for dinner, because she wanted a little surf and turf for supper is what she wanted.
Oh, good. That's great.
Kind of made it, fun and different. It was my first time ever cooking lobster. I'm a seafood guy. I like seafood, but I don't cook it all that often. So for a first time, I was rather impressed with them. So.
Well, I'm on a strict seafood diet.
Well, is that what you're telling me? Is that I got to start cooking seafood for you?
No, I see food and I eat it.
Oh, that seafood. Dude, I've been on that diet my entire life.
That's an old dad joke.
It's one that I haven't heard in a long time.
Yeah, I've heard him. But yeah, you've been lumberjacking. You got the beard and you got the flannel.
Dude, it was so hot and humid through the week that I was actually taking the flannels off while I was working, getting in touch with that basin root, for Mountain Duchesne. But it was definitely different, because I haven't done something like that for a long time, and it was really it was nice to have something simple and easy to work through a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's great that you, what'd I do? You went really small.
Um,
There you are.
I don't know.
I fixed it.
There we go. No, yeah, it was just kind of a nice little Mother's Day because after we did all that, Rex and I took the shop truck back over and dropped it off, cleaned up a few things, and then just kind of hung out and relaxed. Um, nothing too crazy, just kind of a laid back Sunday Mother's Day thing. So
Yeah.
Dad and Sandy down in Mexico, typically we'd run over there and say hi to them and wish Sandy a happy Mother's Day too. But yeah, they're out of town. We did check on Dad's lawn, make sure that his grass and stuff is coming in because he had all that landscaping done last week. And it looks really nice. Those guys did a great job on his yard. So he'll come home to something nice, good for him.
It's funny you said that Rex Shawshanked him, and I was flipping channels yesterday and Shawshank was on and that scene came on right away. It's kind of coincidental.
It's what it is, man. That needs to be the new thing is give guys 3 beers apiece for getting a job done. That's a new Shawshank.
Yep. You gotta Shawshank him.
The
It's a
things
good
that
movie.
we can come up with around here. So see, the worst part is it makes me feel dumb that I didn't do it when they were here a month and a half ago working on my yard,
You don't always think of those things,
No, it's a little bit different when you're a touch removed, because that was the whole reason that I didn't have those guys, because I had a guy come out last Tuesday, last Wednesday, something like that, to look at the tree and kind of evaluate it and get a game plan to save it. And
yeah.
when they were talking to me, they were willing to come in and do all the work to cut it up and haul it away and all that stuff. But in the end, I was just like, no, I'll take care of all that one. And it's money. In the end, it's just money. And it's like the pain, the 5 days of work and so on. They probably would have had it done in an afternoon. Pay the guys to do one side of the landscaping, not the other. Kind of funny, but it's the way that it went. And so what's amazing is the sheer fact that we can pay people to do services like that. That's where we're really lucky, because those service-based jobs, they're a lot of work. It's the thing that kept me from wanting to do Dad's yard myself. Is it's a lot of work dealing with those bushes and all that stuff, but it's pretty incredible that we have the ability to pay people to do a service. So
yeah, God bless hard workers, man.
So, and it goes to show you, because it's oddly enough, we're not dealing with yards and landscaping and trees and all that kind of stuff, but that's all that karma is in a nutshell. As it's a service-based business looking to deliver food into the communities on behalf of people. It's really kind of funny how we'll approach and what we'll look at from thinking of services in that regard, because we won't bat an eye at people working in our yard or doing something like that, but people delivering food for a good reason, some people they'll kind of question that. And, what do you mean that's what you're doing? It's kind of funny,
right?
But it's all just service.
Yep, it's all just helping out and taking care of people and yourself, and that's what makes the world spin. Help each other, quit arguing. That's what we got to do.
Bingo. Let's not talk about it. Let's just see what we can do about it. Right?
Yeah.
Granted, communication can get a lot done, but I find that action can get a lot more done, especially if you're willing to lead by example, because that's the hard one that people don't really stick to. But
well, yeah, it's so easy to complicate your life, with having a phone in your pocket. It's a gateway to the world, you know what I mean? So it's easy to get sidetracked and ticked off or bugged or, all kinds of stuff, and kind of lose focus on what you ought to be doing.
Mhm.
Easier said than done.
Exactly. No truer statement, because it's funny how, like you said, easier said than done. It's a great adage for what we're running into these days. So
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep. It's crazy.
It sure is. So which dog do you got with you tonight, man?
We got Shiloh.
Oh, it's Shiloh with you tonight, huh?
You say hi, Shiloh? Tell me. Shiloh, tell me. Shiloh, say it.
She's sitting there
doesn't
going,
wanna
I only
talk.
perform with a net.
Yeah, I don't have a treat in my hand, so she
Mhm.
isn't talking.
Well, that's good, man. I'm glad that you've got the dogs over there. That was one thing that, I remember working at the shop and the guard check and stuff like that. It was always such a laid back job. You kind of forgot how cush of a job it was. You know what I mean? Because there are times to this day when Rex will go guard and stuff like that. I sit there and just kind of go, why ever stop? Because
Right.
it's it's a fun job, especially when you got the dogs and the animals and stuff around. It's
Yeah,
really
it's a little
fun.
too cush. I'm getting pretty soft.
Wow. We're all getting
I had a
soft.
job when I was running around a warehouse moving stuff around. It was easier to stay in shape.
Mhm. Yeah, that's no
You know,
joke.
and I help Brent during the day, and it's a little active, but
Mhm.
and we're creatures of habit, so it's easier for me to sit here and then and watch stuff and then do the same thing at home because
Mhm.
I'm just like in that groove.
Yeah.
It's stupid, and I'm an idiot, but life goes on.
I don't know about that, man. I don't know. We all have those moments, and we just do the best that we can, because it's back when I was working at the airline and all that kind of stuff, I took all that for granted. And it wasn't until I got into answering phones in an office job that I noticed it in a bad way, you know. And it's an easy habit, because I don't I'll admit it right here. So the issues that I've had with my lower back, believe it or not, they were never really physically related. It was from sitting in an office chair for extended periods of time. That was the only thing that ever gave me issues, and it hit me one day out of nowhere. And oddly enough, it was like I had gotten done working at the airline, and I went home and was playing a video game on my computer, and out of nowhere, it just like I felt kind of a weird shift, and my back has given me problems ever since. You know,
Really?
and yeah, and because of it, I kind of fell into that habit of sitting more and being more sedentary. And at all my desk jobs, I just got used to sitting more and more. And it's a weird habit that'll just take over, you know. And being more active, getting into the gym and stuff again, it'll do the reverse. You start getting that momentum moving and stuff like that. Because that's the thing. The last little while that I've noticed is just wanting to be more active, you know, wanting to get up and move a little bit more, do something more. And I can't accredit that to anything more than just being more active more often these days, you know, and
Yeah.
that habit is huge. And consistency more than anything is the key to it, because that's how you build the habit, you know. So
Yeah, that's cool. You guys are going and swimming.
mhm.
I'd go with you if I wasn't guarding and then getting up and working.
Makes
Just
it
me
hard.
going.
It's what's funny is my jobs for the last little while haven't changed, right? I've had roughly similar schedules, working early enough in the days. I've always had time to do it, but it took more of a big mental change on my end, and Rex's motivation more than anything, to really kind of get it to set in this go around. And this one feels a lot better because what's weird is I feel like I'm doing it more for myself. Whereas those other times it was all vanity. Let's be honest, is all of the ideas of going to the gym and working out was all vain, you know. And this time it's more just, look, I want to feel a little better, I want to move a little more, and it's all up here. You gave us that book when I was in high school, that Mind Pump book from, you remember that one that had the picture of the bodybuilder like sitting on the bench getting all juiced up and stuff. And dude, that's the truth of it right there, is it's all about mentally conquering whatever you want to do, and you'll do it, so. But it takes the right perspective. That's the other one that we fool ourselves with, getting ideas and statuses and other things in the way of accomplishing what we want, so.
Yeah, Mind Pump, the kid with the mullet sitting on the
Yeah,
bench.
you remember the book. You gave that
Had
to me
like a
when I started high school weightlifting class.
red tank top or something.
We've got it here. We've got that book here somewhere. We'll have to just like insert a picture of the book, but that book's 30 years old now plus, and I'll bet you it's just as valid today as it was then, so it's just a different way of talking about it.
Yeah, and there's all kinds of things on YouTube, if you get into like lifting or your diet or fasting or whatever, you can find videos on anything. You can get bogged down watching videos and not do anything. You can just study how to be healthy.
You'll know it all.
Do anything.
Well, dude, that's that was the funny thing about the whole Joe Rogan, Bill Gates, Elon Musk thing, is it's like people that literally look like they've never taken a nutrition class in their life feel that they can lecture people on nutrition. What?
Right.
It's a little bit wild, because that, like you said, we can sit down and watch it all, and it can be all philosophy and no practice, and we'll call it good. So,
right.
But the truth of the matter is, you're not going to lose this right here. For those of you who can't see, I'm shaking my gut.
I hope so.
Yeah, that's gee, thanks, Clint. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's what we're getting at, is that you can't lose this if you just talk about it.
Yeah, I did some push-ups today.
Did you?
Yeah.
Good on you, man.
But it's dumb. I have a whole gym in my garage that I haven't used forever.
Oh, that's the getting into it all. My biggest thing was, I don't want to hurt myself. And I know we're the kind of family that it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to go work out, and you'll do it too hard right up front and hurt something real bad and then never go, it's too easy to do stuff like that. Because that was one of my biggest concerns, was hurting myself early, just trying to push it too hard. Not a very smart thing. If you haven't done it for a while, starting with push-ups and just some calisthenic stuff is a great idea. Hell, that's what I've done for the first 3 months with a personal trainer, was just that kind of stuff. So
you had a personal trainer?
I'm still working with one. Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I've been seeing him once a week on Thursdays, and it's just kind of helping set up proper technique and routine and stuff like that. But seriously, for the first like 3 months working with the guy, all it was body weight exercises like push-ups, squats, using TRX bands and just resistance things, and almost no weight training or anything like that. So,
oh, did you buy some bands?
I've got a couple, and then they actually, at the gym that we go to, they've got a lot of the resistance bands and the things like the one that, this is going to sound weird, but they have it's a balance bar is what it is, and it's just like a 6 foot long stick, more or less. And I started doing exercises where you hold it and you'll just kind of go around your body and do like wraparounds and stuff like that, and then just go up and over your shoulder, both forward and backward. And the stuff that did to my shoulders is insane. And it's just weighs nothing. It's like a pound, you know.
Oh yeah,
So, but
going
all of
over
that,
your shoulders with the thing
mhm,
and back, and that's a good like rotator cuff
yeah,
stretch.
and those are my trouble areas, you know. So him showing me a lot of those kinds of things have helped a lot, and now it's just keeping with him more consistently to keep building up the strength. But that's the key to it all, is you got to start with just good practice and then start adding other things to it. And it's like our approach with everything, you know. If you start small, take a bite-sized piece of it and work through it, you'll be amazed at where you're going to get over time, you know.
Yeah. Well, and
So
that's the hardest part is starting.
yeah, getting started, and I getting started, to me, the consistency is the harder part, because it's
Yeah.
easy to get that motivation early. Man, I'm going to do this. It's going to be great. And it's also easy to jump in too far early on and then not do it at all anymore. You know, it's more about building up and setting a pace and sticking with it. Because the thing, and that's the part where I've really got to give Rex. He's looking great. It's the consistency is really what it comes down to. Because even with me doing extra days at the gym, working with a trainer and stuff like that, I definitely say he's made more progress than I have, because it's more of just the consistency and sticking with it and keeping with your routines. And me, I fluctuate a little too much. So my diet is horrible.
Yeah,
So
mine too. Luckily, I don't drink a lot of soda, but I eat whatever the hell, you know.
yeah, and that's, see, I've been kicking more of those soda. I'm down to more water and stuff like that. But dude, I just ate like 6 handfuls of gummy bears before I came in here, so that I have energy to talk to you. Gummy
That's all right.
bears.
Bears, that's protein.
Is it? I thought it was just sugar.
Yeah, don't you get protein from bears?
Oh, that kind of bear, yeah. But it's because that's the hard one. It's the one that the side of the entire routine that I think is the trickiest one, is just the like I said, the consistency, but it's more of the interaction. You know, when you're sitting down, like today, I went and met Ayame for lunch, and I actually got a glass of water with lunch instead of ordering like a soda or something like that. And it's just those little things that can be one of the harder parts, because remembering that, especially when it's like, oh, I just paid $1.99 for a cup, I'm going to get a soda. Well, no, I'll go with the water. You know, some of that stuff's a little bit harder to do, because those old habits, a nice tasty Dr. Pepper, or when you go to a place that's got a red cream soda. You remember red cream soda, man?
Oh yeah.
That's still one of my favorites to this day, because it's just got such a great taste to it, and a good fizz. And anytime I see that, it's hard not to want to grab something like that. Like over at Yoshi's, they've got it, and that's a place that her and I like to go for lunch quite a bit. So
You had lunch with her today?
yeah, so kind of coming back to the family thing, you know, Dad and all of his buddies meet for lunch every day. And I was thinking about it and just kind of going, you know, it would be cool to do that with our friends and our group and stuff like that. And it would have to be kind of a different group, because most of my friends can't go take a 2.5 2 hour lunch. You know what I mean? Like Dad and all of his buddies can. At most they can maybe do like an hour or something. But yeah, I was kind of going, you know, that would be something, get people involved, because it's a good way to just to get out there and talk to people. Because one of the biggest things that, you know, through everything that's been happening, I mean, we started the karmic transmission during the pandemic because we couldn't interact with people, and that human interaction has just tapered off more and more all over the place. But we need to encourage it again, because that's where we humans do best, is when we're actually in social environments and can see each other and know the people that we're working with and trying to do things with, because it brings it all home. You know what I mean? When you're there with people, it's a lot harder to want to screw them over than when they're 3,000 miles away and they're an unknown face and an unknown person you've never met, right? So the more you can do stuff like that, the more you can build a community that'll actually work together and want to do more and build something larger. But it takes that human interaction, and these things are great. You know, this is a good substitution, but anything to go out there and be with people again, I'm a big fan of these days. So, and that's one of the things where grabbing lunch with Naomi on Monday or something like that, it gets us out doing something good for me, good for her. And who knows, maybe we can start building on it, but just got to start finding the right clique that can go do that kind of stuff, you know?
Well, I invited you guys to karaoke last time. You didn't come.
Well, karaoke is a little bit later at night and there's other things going on. It was kind of short notice too. When are you going next?
Who knows? I'll
'Cause
tell
here's
you
the
a half
deal,
hour
man.
before we go.
You see this Star Wars calendar? I'll put Clint karaoke stuff on this guy right here so that I don't forget it. In fact, I actually, hang on. Look at this. I've still got it set to April. Let's flip that over here really fast.
Eh.
There we go. But yeah, dude, you let us know and we'll see what we can do to be there for the next one for sure. Because that's the hardest one, is if it comes up like night of or something like that. Sometimes it's a little bit harder.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
Oh, dude, I love hearing you do your mother stuff. You know, your Danzig is wonderful.
I haven't done that one forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might have to break it out of the repertoire.
I'd really like a band.
Yeah. I know that's one that we've talked about with Rex, and we need to just pick a night and do it. That's the biggest thing. Put together the old man band.
Let's do it.
So, because that would be fun, and that would be another great way to, you know, just get together with some guys and enjoy life. It's everything that we've been getting into lately screams more and more of that, and just wanting to be together with people and enjoying everything that we can experience all the time, no matter how it's changing, no matter what's going on. Because, you know, with the slot games and just the way that everybody's thinking, it's time to get back to living and enjoying it. And you do that best when you got people with it, you know. So, because I'm down, dude. I'll bust out the old saxophone and honk on it a little bit and see if I can make some noise. Because it's been years since I did it, but what do we got to lose? You know, who are we trying to impress?
Definitely not each other.
Yeah, if we're not having fun, then we're doing it wrong. So,
yeah, that'd be cool.
I'm down, man.
Huh?
I'm down.
Yeah. I mean, I've already kind of got a room set up at my house we could play in for one.
Well, that's got most of Ian's stuff in it. We ought to just come out there and take a look at it and see what we can piece together.
Yeah, it's got Cooper's drum set. And Ian's got a mixer and some big speakers, like a PA. So
yeah,
there we go.
We're pretty much right there. Just a few side instruments, but then getting everybody there. So
we got to write some lyrics that'll change the world.
Well, that's there we go. Hit the wrong button there. Lyrics that'll change the world. Didn't they already try that, like in the 80s? What was the yeah, We Are the World? Wasn't that it, or something like that? Where they brought like 50 musicians together and tried to make the song to change the world and all that stuff.
Yeah, I think they were raising money for something.
Yeah, it was a big a fundraiser, and I'm trying to remember what the song was, but it's one of those things.
Yeah, We Are the World.
The generic kind of stuff.
We Are the World.
Yeah.
There's a choice we're making.
Yep, that's the one.
We're saving our own lives. It's true, we'll make a better day. Just you and me.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
Michael Jackson and Bono and Madonna and
Paul McCartney, and it had everybody. Wasn't like Ray Charles in it.
yeah. The problem with those songs is they mean well, but the songs always suck.
Exactly. That's my biggest problem with it. Is like a song that changed the world, and I immediately go, you don't want to do that. That's just gonna. That's
I didn't
gonna
say
be
a song. I said lyrics.
Wow.
We're
Lyrics.
going the Rush route. Write some good lyrics.
Yeah. We'll have to bring Colby. Colby's kind of our in-house lyricist, sort of. He does
Yeah.
all right.
Let's
But,
get everybody.
We gotta have Dad write lyrics. That's who should really write a song for or put something together for us,
That'll be interesting.
wouldn't it? It'd be nothing but dad jokes and fart humor the whole time, and probably sell like hotcakes in this day and age. You know.
Right. As
Have him
long as our
dance.
band has zero diversity. That's my one sticking point.
Zero diversity, huh? So
Yeah. If you're not
it's-
a brother, you better be close.
it's family only, and adopted family counts.
Yeah.
Gotcha. It's as homogenous as white bread can get.
Yeah. We're not making no fucking Star Wars movie here. We're gonna jam.
Well, I'm sold, man. I am on board. If that's what we're gonna do, let's do this thing. Now we just got to pick a day.
Dude, let's figure it out.
We should.
We'll just come over to the house and we'll tinker in there. I'll have Ian come over with his bass and he can dink off. Colby plays guitar, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Rex can drum.
Mhm.
You got the sax.
I play a hell of a tambourine too, so.
Yeah. Well, we need a dancer.
For a dancer, we should get somebody like Eric Judson. Just because it would be, I'm sure that he would enjoy going all crazy for a little while.
Yeah, but I worry he'd have ideas, and I don't want any ideas. I just use him for his dance moves.
Oh my god. I can't even argue that one, man. You're not wrong. There's definitely, we just need somebody that moves. Okay. A mover. It's gonna be a bit trickier. We ought to get Ian and Emma and Cooper and Riley involved somehow. You know, they can all be backup singers or something.
Yeah.
Truly, like, if we're gonna do this thing, make it the family band, we ought to get the family in.
Riley is a singer. That would be epic.
Yeah. I can only imagine him with that shit mullet that he's got right now and being 6'5".
I don't think we have any mic stands tall enough.
He would be the mic stand.
Yeah.
He just stand there and hold microphones.
Yeah, like a mic tree.
Yeah.
He could mic the whole drum set if he could hold still.
Yeah.
Have him do the splits sitting at the bottom and holding his hands up and duct tape mics to him. Tell him to sit there. And then we'll tape our band name on his back.
It would be across his arms, like full length across his wingspan.
Right.
I'm the visual alone. I'm just seeing an album cover, and it would be amazing. It would be something else. Right up there with Cinderella, only making him look bad.
Yeah.
Okay, Rex, you're in on this too. I know that you're listening. You gotta think about what else we can throw into this. because I'm loving it. This is what we need.
We'll throw in influences from all our bands we like, great Rush lyrics. You got Beards, so we got the ZZ Top influence. We could be YYZ Top.
YYZ Top, huh? Yeah. I was sitting there going, what else could work with that one?
I know. Here's a great band name I thought of yesterday. Specific Islanders.
The Specific Islanders, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. That would have to be like, it's got to be some sort of almost like Irish band or something like that. It would have to be some band that has a really weird accent that goes along with the whole thing, because you would need to tie in. Because I was just thinking, Specific Islanders, people are going to go, but what island, right?
That's the one we specified.
Yeah, whichever one.
Which we didn't tell.
You make people sound weird.
Or we might have to lie and
nail it
claim
down.
we're each from a specific different island. None of them in the Pacific.
Yeah, they're all in like the Caribbean or the Atlantic or something.
Yeah.
Sea of Japan.
Because we're not Pacific Islanders, obviously.
Yeah, we're just Specific Islanders.
Yeah. Or maybe we're just islanders in general, but we're very specific about what we're about.
About the island. We've never found our island, but we're islanders, and we're just looking for that specific island.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Rex is he still goes with this Tom Gugliak and the Algorithms. That's the one that he still wants to put together.
Tom Gugliak?
Yeah, Tom Gugliak and the Algorithms. That's his, to fit the Google algorithm. We'll use the name the Algorithms. He just doesn't know how to spell algorithm.
Why Tom Gugliak? Why not just the Algorithms?
Because you need a front man that doesn't exist. So when people ask where's the front man, you're like, he's not here. You just missed him. It's Tom. Oh, dude, that guy could be Tom. This guy's Tom. It's Tom. But we're the algorithms. We're here to play.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Because in the end, everybody always ran with we're the Vanderlindens, but you can't do the Van thing. Van Halen already did that, and you can't copy those guys. It just seems like you're late to the party,
Right.
So
can't start with Van.
We'll come up with something though. I'm sure the Specific Algorithms can find something for us. We'll just punch it into Google and see if it can find us a band name.
Yeah, I've got a spreadsheet somewhere of band names.
Yeah. Well, dude, back when you were doing that Scary Treehouse stuff and making up band names and songs and all that stuff, you guys had some great ideas with that.
Yeah, we should resurrect that website. And then we could actually, with our band, make songs and put them on there, or snippets of them.
Yeah, make little clips and stuff.
This is what we could do is figure out, because I have bands and I have artwork for like Slaytoven and Four Nuns Named Vinny and the Cruddy Forever and
Forces of Nature.
Yeah, Unforspoken Strength. And we figure out what these bands sound like, and we make a song or a partial song.
Mm-hmm.
And you can like hear their music and look at their artwork and read some interviews and stuff from them. And they don't even exist.
Mm-hmm. It's a great idea, especially where you guys were going to start running the merchandising route and stuff like that. All that stuff together is just brilliant, and it's all stuff that just ties in all the avenues of artistic ideas, from writing, thinking of, when most bands pick a sound, they'll evolve and move through it. But that would literally be like, okay, we've got to come up with distinct sounds for different groups and then try to
Right.
make it like that so much different,
Right. And if the main objective is to be funny, then you don't have to have talent
Mhm.
other than comedic talent. But
Yeah.
we got that. We
Well,
can figure that out.
some of us do. The rest
Hitting
of us,
the right
there's some of us
chord.
that are squares and just kind of there.
Oh, I don't know about that. Look at this thing I have to deal with.
Dude, that's a rough one, man.
Dude, look at that.
Yeah, right down the middle.
Look at my eyes. Take a screenshot of that.
We'll have to make that in the thumbnail.
I'm in the next Marvel movie.
What would be the name? It's got to be something like Solar Face or something.
Solarian.
Mhm.
I'm Solarian. Bow before me.
Oh man,
That's pretty cool looking.
it is pretty good.
Kind of like a God of War vibe or something.
Mhm. Yeah, Viking era, helmeted. Rex just called you Dwarf Vader. But because yeah, dude, and like you said, if we're all having fun and enjoying it and just trying to make something that's a little bit unique, those are the kinds of things that people fall in love with. It's every hit video that we've ever had or anything like that. It's always heartfelt and warm, and it's all that stuff would be, which is cool. So, because I like it,
I don't know, dude. I don't know about having fun with it. I think at our age, the right move to take with music is we take it as serious as we can and believe we're going to make it to the top, and we start fighting about the money right away.
dude. I didn't know if you guys had understood.
Start taking drugs.
I'm the money guy. The money's already mine. Like that. That's how
Okay.
it's going. You guys, between you and Rex and Colby and everybody else, we'll deal with all the other fallout stuff. But I'm going to be the guy that takes the money and runs. Like I've already claimed that one.
Oh shit. All right.
Yeah. See, that's why I'm the saxophone player and not like the real instrument player. See, because I'm just on the periphery.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll have to start taking drugs and being promiscuous and stuff.
It's true. I see Rex is probably the one that's going to have the nervous breakdown. I see him being the one that takes it more serious than everyone else. And
I'm the emotional one. We all know that. I would be the one that would break down.
different breakdown. His is more going to be like a breakdown from stress, where yours is going to be like the party lifestyle breakdown.
So yeah, that ends in suicide.
I wasn't going to go that far with it, man. Way to be dark. Like,
well, it'll look like a drug overdose. It'll be one of those on the fence deals.
We've got a good plan. This is like straight up with South Park level kind of planning before we even start in the band. This is what we need. This is very much what we need.
Right.
It's so that we can click off all those tropes and not get in trouble. So
fight about the creative direction. That's a big one.
Colby's going to be the guy that quits. He'll get mad and storm off.
Yeah,
like Nigel with his guitar and Spinal Tap.
Start his own side band that we make fun of, but it gets successful, and then we hate him for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go. Or we could just have fun. I don't know.
It's hard to tell. They have so many things going for them. They really do. Like,
we'll make a pros and cons list.
Okay, I'm down. I've got some big white paper. We'll do that on our first band meeting. We'll pros and cons it, right? Before we even see if anybody can play an instrument, we're gonna pros and cons the play outside of the whole thing.
Right. That's the ticket.
It is, because dude, once you've got the game plan and the map, it's just a matter of time. It's just gonna happen, angel investor will come along. Somebody will just hear what we're doing, and boom, it'll be right there for us. You got to have the map. Because that's not what we were talking about, is how it's all, we got to talk about it and we got to get it there, right? That's the name of the game.
Yeah, we'll get a promoter. Because I know there's got to be a huge market for bands that guys that are in their like late 30s and 40s that really don't have much background in music, you know?
There's got to be one. There's a niche market for everything. It's kind of like overweight strippers. There's got to be a market for them.
There's got to be a market. What an insensitive thing for you to say.
Everybody, dude, I'm putting myself in that category. You imagine what it would be like if I tried to go get that job?
You'd be the worst stripper ever.
It'd be horrible. But I'd make damn good tips.
Yeah. Yeah.
The extras.
It'd be wedging dollars in your beard.
So, but anyway, man.
But anyways, we should get together and fart around.
Yeah.
With some music.
I'm with you. I'm totally with you. And that's, we're coming into May. So the one thing I was meaning to get in touch with you. My whole game plan after the last transmission, when you and I were talking, I did want to have you come over and start working on some of these little things with me. Help me get the studio room that's right above me put together. And then I had a tree fall down, so I kind of got sidetracked and doing all that stuff. But these would be great things that we ought to just start getting together and knocking some of that small stuff out, start planning for them and getting dates down. Because the biggest thing is once they're here, we're set. Because the one thing that we've always been pretty good with, and that we learned at a young age, was you gotta live up to your commitments and things that you're going to do. So once it's down, I know that we'll be there. The hardest part is getting it down. So
yeah,
it'll be fun though. Because too cool. Be way too cool.
My schedule's way flexible.
Okay.
And so yeah, it's whatever you and Rex think. But yeah, I'd love to come help you build out that studio, or if you need anything.
Yeah, well, that's kind of along with other things that we're working on, that was kind of the first one that I was thinking of, because that's, once we've got that, it gives us a lot of opportunity just to get together and start making all this stuff happen. Because it's, I mentioned it earlier, having these things, these tools to communicate and work with each other and talk, and these things are amazing, but it's still not the same as being together. Because us sitting here talking, we could come up with a date and we'll talk, and it's just as easy that 2 weeks from now on the next transmission, we could be having the same conversation. In all likelihood, we just might, but the odds of us getting together and making something happen, that get together will definitely make it move forward a little bit quicker, I think, because the energy that being in proximity with each other brings is key. People start feeding off of each other. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Somebody's calling the shop.
What kind of an idiot calls the shop if it's 7:47?
There'll
probably be a driver going, "Hey, can you start my truck at 8:30?" Come on. Let's see who this is.
No problem.
This is Karma. Rapco. It is. Oh, okay. Two o'clock. Yeah, I can start it at 2 o'clock. All right. Okay, Joe. Bye. What'd I tell you?
Yeah, you knew it.
It's not even winter time. Hey, Rex, you're watching. What the hell? Why are these guys calling me, asking me to start their truck at 2 a.m? It's not even winter time. I'll watch for the text message.
It's gonna take him a minute. He's typing like this.
That's no big deal.
Nah, it's nice of you to do it, and that's one thing that.
Even though I'm supposed to be sleeping then, but
Well, yeah, but you know, I never, in all the years that we did that, I don't remember that ever coming up. You know, that's like that's
that's
only
a new
something
addition.
yeah, new addition in like the last 5 years or so, maybe.
Somebody caved and then word got out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And now there's like, oh, just call the guard. They'll go start your truck. Shit, what number did I say?
I didn't hear you say a number. I heard you say John. I think
232.
Rex just said two.
2
what?
o'clock.
Yeah, you said 223. There you go.
220. Joe. So Joe drives 223.
Yep, there you go.
Is that correct, Rex? I'm hijacking the karma chat with my
Hey, we gotta get work done somehow. So
223, 2 in the damn morning. Okay. No problem. I'm here.
there we go.
Shiloh and I'll go out there and start it. And I'll have her pee in a cab. 2 a.m.
Leave him a surprise.
I gotta put 232 down or I'll forget. Sorry, Jake.
That's
Two-
he said 223.
223.
Careful. You know what though? It would serve them right for them to get there and you have the wrong truck running. Be like, dude, this isn't my job.
223. Yeah. Start every truck in the yard but his, just to prove a point.
I couldn't remember which one you said.
Then Rapco hits me with a gas bill for $10,000 because he had 15 trucks run for 10 minutes under Biden's brilliance.
Oh, dude, no joke. That would be brutal.
$1,000 a tank to fill them up. He was telling me. How do you make a living?
Yeah, no, it's dude. This stuff is nuts because when we went and bought food for the Karma weekend, man, that same amount of money, but the amount of food that we got was probably, I don't know, I would say almost I can't even think about, like, I can't even put an amount of difference that I can really think of, because we just got to get the pictures up and let people see, because these prices and things that are going on, and it's proof that we need karma now more than ever, because if we don't do things like this, it's just going to get harder for everyone down the road, because all we're doing is we're letting people isolate and build these little pockets, and they're all just forgetting that we're a part of something bigger. You know, that's the whole thing that we've got to look past and we've got to get over, is we got to remember that we're all trying to do this and we're all in it together, and if we work together, we'll get through it. That's the thing, you know.
Definitely.
So
yeah,
right there.
Just get people realizing, hey, we can take care of each other and we don't need some quack job government wiping our ass for us. We can do that.
We never wanted them to. That's the bigger one, is these things and the way that they get moving about, they don't belong in any of those spheres.
They've got it to where, and we've got it where a lot of people are kind of trained to think that they need more government than they do, you know. Mm-hmm. And they don't.
Yeah.
You just take a bunch of responsibility away from them because they're irresponsible and corrupt. So we do it ourselves.
Mm-hmm. And that's how it'll actually get done. It's like I said, you don't wish and wait and hope for somebody 3,000 miles away that doesn't know you and has nothing connecting them to you to save your life. No, you go out and you save it yourself, you know. And that's, save is the wrong term, but you change your life yourself is what you want to do. Because in all reality, people don't need saving. People are capable and know what they need to do, but they might need a little bit of help. They might need a little bit of some assistance or some education or a little bit of guidance, but they don't need to be saved.
Hell, we take honesty as a start.
That's a big one.
And the ability to talk with each other is, we'll keep that. Thank you very much.
Mhm. But if we do those things, if we become those responsible parties, then nobody can take the responsibility away from you. So, because that's the biggest one, is when people want to shirk responsibility and duty, somebody's going to pick it up. Somebody's going to take over. In order to do that, it means that you've got to do what I say. So, no, we'll take our responsibility. We'll own our part of the pie and take care of it ourselves. That's the best thing that any of us can do. The greatest gift that any singular individual can give to us as a species is the ability to take care of themselves. That literally the greatest gift that they can do for any of the rest of us is to be capable to take care of themselves. Because if that happens, we can start sharing and working together and doing something more. But it's harder to do when one person has to take care of multiple people. These things don't work.
Right.
There's not enough hours, there's not enough energy, there's not enough of anything to go around when the only person doing it is one and everybody else wants a part of it. That doesn't work, no matter how hard. And that's the worst of it, is why would you ever want to give up that responsibility? The minute you give it up is the minute they're never going to give it back to you. And in fact, they're going to kill you with it. So why would you ever not want to be responsible for yourself?
Well, it's not a
Ridiculous.
conscious thing. It's just it's erosion over time, like wind or water. It just wears people down, and they become reliant beings. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I don't know what the hell I'm saying. Let's talk about Roe v. Wade real quick.
How about we save that one, since we're about 4 minutes left in this transmission?
No, I was just kidding. It's I predicted that,
Yeah.
enough stuff's going wrong. Let's dig up one of those old cultural fighting points. Oh, abortion. Let's bring that one back around.
Dude, it's all
While we're at war, while we're under the worst inflation, while we're, you name it, everything. The borders a sieve.
Dude,
It's so predictable. I'm
that's
so
the thing,
tired of
though,
them.
is it's all there for fear. It's all there because they need this thing to appear like it's crumbling, and people don't care and nobody wants anything. It's all just a thing. And that's the part where that's how we outlast it, is if we take the responsibility. And no matter how they want to deal with that stuff, if we don't play the game their way, it doesn't matter. Because the truth of the matter is, all of that stuff, the Roe v. Wade, the gas prices, the inflation, all of these things we can get through if we work together. And if we don't let those things and the fear of what those things could bring separate us and tear us apart. Because that's these things are, all of these things are things that we create as people. And if we look at the shared things that we all have, hunger, shelter, poverty, like all of these things, if we fix them, it all goes away. It all solves these little mundane issues, because you realize just how much they really aren't a thing, and how much all of the regular people are actually on the same side behind all of it. The only thing keeping us confused and unsure is the fact that, like you said, people are throwing this stuff out there because they don't want us talking about anything else. They don't want us talking about things like karma that can solve problems and actually bring about good, positive improvement. They don't want to hear about that, because that breaks the narrative of how bad and how ugly the world is when it's not.
Oh yeah,
All of it.
without a doubt.
Yeah, that's the big part of it. And that's why we need all of this, and to not get lost in that stuff, because it is something that needs to come up. But bring it up for what it is, a distraction and nothing more. Don't give them any credit, because that's what they want, and it's a shame because all of that stuff, it literally, there are things that everybody knows aren't that, they're not really something that anybody gives a shit about. It's not something that everybody needs to be involved in. They're situational, they're individual, they're independent. These are down to things that need to be addressed by the individual.
Yeah.
But
A lot of
hunger,
private
something
things.
that affects all of us, things that are universally addressed by everyone as a whole, these are things that we should be focusing on together. These are the ways that we should be addressing stuff. And it's, Rex showed me this show on Netflix, and it's called something like Young Enough or something like that. But the whole takeaway that I got from the show is that people, if you show them that they have an investment in the community and in society, they're capable of doing all kinds of things, even when they're young. Because this show is all about, it's over in Japan, and they show kids ranging from anywhere of like a year and a half, just under 2 years old, to like 3 years old. And their families literally are just like, hey, you're going to do a mile round trip walk to the grocery store, and you're going to bring home lunch for the whole family. And the kid will go do it. It'll happen, because people, even children, small people, not kids, these are small people. They're capable of doing a whole lot. And if you give them some responsibility and ownership and want to do something in the community, and they start participating, it can do amazing things for us. But you can't be afraid that they're incapable or that they can't do it, or tell them that they're not allowed. You have to be willing to let them go out and try. And even, mom, the old softy that she is, oh, they're babies, they're too young. But hey, this 2-year-old kid went to the store, he paid for food, he brought it home, he juiced the cabbages and took it back out to feed to his grandpa. Like, what's wrong with our kids here in America that they can't do that? Other than they need the education. They need to be shown these things, and they need to be taught that if we all do this together and if we all learn these things, it's better for all of us, because it keep the individual stuff where it belongs with the individual. But things that belong to us as a society as a whole, it's something for all of us to look at and work towards and want to do something about. Quit trying to make mountains out of molehills.
Yeah.
So, because that's all that is there to do, is to stop us from being where we should actually be, from talking about things like karma and things that can bring about good positive change. That's all that is, so
Yeah. Well, I mean, some people, some parties, some groups, they want a monopoly on charity or diversity or inclusion, or they want to control that.
mhm.
They want their votes.
Well, they want the votes, they want the money, they want the power, they want the control. There's any number of reasons. And the truth about it is if you get down to what they're trying to actually do, is it's about controlling and directing human potential, not anything more. It's this idea that if you can put in place a map and force everybody to follow it, this is where human potential can take us. And the truth of the matter is, you cannot control. To think that you can control and guide human potential is like us saying that we can control hurricanes and tornadoes and all of these natural forces of nature that are so beyond what we can actually do, but that we love to blame and say, well, it's these people's fault they exist. You're wrong. A person is a sheer force of nature, just like everything else. And when you start putting them in cages and penning them up, they're going to buck, they're going to fight, they're going to cause problems. And this is all to be expected from any animal, but more than anything, that's what they want, is they think they can control this human potential, and they can't. because true human potential is as limitless as sunshine. It goes in all directions and moves in all ways, and it's through that potential that we have the ability to create everything. So why would you try to tap it and force it into something that you know that it can't be, other than you're a narcissistic maniac? That's about it, you know. And
Yeah.
That's it, because that's, you know, our money is literally a measurement of our human potential in action. I go out and I spend 8 hours at a job putting my energy and what my body and my person creates into something. And therefore I receive so much capital back that I can use on my life and my resources and all that stuff. But it's nothing more than a measurement of my potential energy. And in my opinion, the measurement should always match the potential, if not give it more, because to grow, we've got it's like planting and reaping a harvest, right? When a farmer plants a field, they're not going to eat all the corn. They create an abundance that can be shared and moved so that everyone can prosper with it. That's how energy works. And if we're going to put some sort of measuring stick like money against human potential, we need to let it work, because to think that people's potential energy is worth $15 an hour, come on, you're selling yourself short. You're not giving yourself enough credit. I firmly believe that every person is invaluable. You can't put a price tag on Clint Vanderlinden's human potential. There's no amount of money in the world that can actually equate to what your value is. But what's interesting is that as a society, we've come up with these things that we need to say, okay, I'll exchange so much of my energy to have these things so that I can live and have a house and a car and food and all of these things. When in all reality, why is food even a part of that? You know, why are we putting these things into this system when we're trying to create abundance and share and do more? And the answer is, well, because we let the measuring stick, the money, become more important than the actual resource, the food, the water, the people, more than anything. And that's the biggest injustice that our civilized societies brought forward. We took the people and said, you guys can kind of be worth here. And we forgot that that's the true potential that we're always working with. That is the unlimited source of energy that never goes away, because so long as we're having kids and we're bringing more people, it always moves. You know.
Yeah.
So I say we mix these things up and we put them in ways that it doesn't really work, and we need to stop letting everything else blur us and distract us from remembering that part of it. Because if we take that energy and we work together towards things, then we're talking Star Trek as opposed to Mad Max, right?
Right.
So
that's a good end note, man. I like that analogy.
but anyway, that just my little ramble there that I'll use to wrap it up, because it's an incredible thing. And that is the one part that with karma, more than anything, that's what we want to recognize, that human potential sitting right there in every single one of us at any given time. If we're willing to work together and do something with it, why can't we have paradise on earth, you know? So, but anyway, brother, I'm kind of with you. I think that's a good spot to wrap this one up, because we went all over the place, man.
Yeah, dude.
So, but I hope you have a wonderful night, Garden Man. Don't forget, start 223 at 2 a.m. That's the catch.
Yeah, I'll make his day.
All right, brother. Well, I love that about you, man. You have a safe night, and we'll talk at you a little later.
Love you.
Love you too. And for all those at home, thank you for joining us. This has been Karmic Transmission number 53. You got Clint and Jake joining you with Karma Incarnate. As always, catch us out on our website, karmaincarnate.com. The best way to find out what we're doing and how you can make an impact in our local communities right here with us. Check out our Facebook media, social media, YouTube, Twitter, all that kind of fantastic stuff, because we're out there as well. And if you ever want to really get in touch and find out what it's about, send us a message. We'd love to talk to you. So until next time, guys, we'll see you later.